I'm out here on the weather patio with Dr. Frank McGeorge. What are you doing in my weather special?
That is a very fair question. Well, the funny thing is this year has been very special for me and everyone that lives on the water like I do, because water levels are incredibly high, and that's no thanks to you, weather guy.
Yeah, I take full responsibility.
Well, and so, that's really kind of the big reason that I'm in your weather special. I live on the water, and I've talked to a lot of people that live on the water, and frankly, everyone has a concern because the levels are so high.
Yeah.
Over the last few years, we've had accumulating water levels. And actually, this year, they have accumulated high enough that over the last, I think it was several weeks, we've had about 14 inches of water level elevation,
Wow.
which puts it at the level of 1986. Why is that important? That's important because it is the high water level in the last, I think since it's been recorded.
Since the early 1900s.
Yeah,
in a lot of
exactly.
cases.
So the 86 level was the benchmark. Well, there are times in May when we have already been above the 86 levels.
Whew.
So this is a setup for disaster.
And the way it's going now, the water's going to continue to rise even if we don't get another drop of rain, right?
That's exactly it. I've talked to Army Corps of Engineer guys, I've talked to guys in various townships and municipalities, and they all say the same thing. Basically, the water automatically goes up May, June, July. And that's because there's ice pack melting up north that comes down. There's a difference in the level of evaporation during the early spring, early summer. And because of that, the water level is expected to go up, estimated right now, 8 more inches till the end of July. So what that really means is, based on how high it is right now, it's going to break over people's seawalls and it is going to encroach on their homes, much like it did, if not more so, than in 86.
And that's already a problem because there are folks who are living along the water who don't really have enough sandbags ready for this amount of water.
That's exactly it. Everybody I've talked to has basically broken people down into two groups: people that are taking it seriously and sandbagging, and people that frankly are just kind of looking out their window and saying, well, it doesn't look that bad right now. The problem is, in the next couple of months, it's going to look worse and worse. And as you're always talking about the wind. That's going to be a big deal this year.
Yeah.
The direction of the wind is going to tell us which shoreline gets hit the worst. And the water can go up, I think somebody estimated about 10 inches with a good prolonged wind event.
Sure.
So it's not just the waves, it's literally the water is being pushed to one shoreline, elevating it, and ultimately, again, not only coming over seawalls, but continuously moving across your land. And if you don't have a good slope between your seawall and your home, it's going to be in your living room.
Wow. And it doesn't take a lot of wind. The speeds that it would have taken to cause onshore flooding years ago have been cut in half and even reduced by then some.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think, for anybody that lives on the water, wind is going to be your enemy. You're going to have to pay attention to the wind. But honestly, even if there was no wind, even if there wasn't a single drop of rain between now and July, the water is coming.
Yeah.
Because there's a huge snowpack up north that's going to be melting downstream.
It's got to go somewhere.
Exactly. So it's coming.
And we're going to get a preview of your piece later tonight at 5. And then we'll get the longer version coming up on our weather special. It's our Weather Insider. It's going to be Sunday at 7 o'clock on Local 4. So Frank's not going to be talking about measles. He's going to be talking about water. We're going to be talking about how to stay safe in severe weather as all of us are streaming and we're podcasting. And are we even paying attention to weather warnings? Because it's a whole different story nowadays.
Well, you're going to be streaming and podcasting, I imagine, about the wind this year because everybody on the water is going to care,
That's
including
true.
me.
Yeah. And in addition, Andrew, Brandon, Paul Gross, all going to be there. So join us tonight at 5 for Frank's story and then for the Weather Insider coming up on Local 4 Sunday at 7 o'clock. We'll see you then.